Yo, what's up? This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting here with my boy,
Miguel Ramirez. What's happening, babe?
What's up? So, you guys,
I am not happy.
there's obstacles and there's challenges
I am not
in
happy.
everything that you do, okay? And so, we always like to lead by example. And so this is our second take of Opposites Attract podcast.
Yeah.
You want to? Anyways.
No, you know
we
what?
We recorded earlier, just a little while ago, and it didn't record properly. And so this is take 2.
Yes.
And the first one was really good.
Actually, you know what? We're on episode 59.
What?
So the fact that this didn't happen.
I can't wait till we do episode 69.
Well, that's going to be a celebration. That's going
to be my fave.
But listen, though. Like, the fact
listen, Linda, listen.
Listen, Linda. The fact that this didn't happen before is kind of crazy.
Yeah. No,
that we haven't had to do this before.
Yeah. I mean, we did, but it was because we were arguing. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
We were like really in it.
Not because of technical. Yeah, but we stopped early. This one, we recorded a full hour and 14 minutes.
Yes.
And then we were like, shh. Oh, I was not happy. Anyway,
Anyways,
for those of you that know my temper.
Better. There's a reason that we're taking, this is 2. This right here is going to be the shit.
Actually, that last one was the one that was going to actually make the podcast take off. And now we'll never know because it's gone.
Shut the hell up.
What we're doing, we didn't have liquor on the last one.
No, but we are right now. Let me tell you.
Let's fucking do this.
So we talked to my mother-in-law. I want sake cups, Mom. No.
What if I fill up
This was your idea, Mom. So not.
We're drinking sake. What if I fill up your coffee cup with sake?
Yeah, no. Well, I don't. We've never had it before. It's like fancy bottle. I like the bottle.
Oh shit.
And so I'm
oh shit, I fucked up.
I'm covering my fat by sitting this way. You know, when Miguel, okay, so I'm upstairs and we're doing our toes, my daughter and I having girly time. Not to make you feel worse. No.
Yeah. I interrupted their girly time. Like, okay, let's get back
Miguel
in the studio.
Miguel likes to joke around. Yeah, he does. And he comes upstairs serious as shit. And I'm undressed at this point, right? I have my wrap on. Dude, it's, yes, my day off. And he comes upstairs and he's like, hey, we have to record again.
Another podcast.
And I look at him and I'm like, with a smile, I'm like, shut up. Like,
stop playing.
No, but he's like dead, like not happy. But you're really good when it comes to telling jokes, but it just turned out that it wasn't serious.
No, that I was serious.
And on the previous recording, I was just talking about how us women have a very hard time. Okay, so I've gotten a little fluffy and there's no hiding it on the video. Like there's none, right? You can't hide it. And not only that, they say that the camera puts a few more pounds on you anyways.
Yeah.
So I've been, whatever, getting over that. And I had a few girlfriends who, had a podcast going as well. And they actually stopped doing podcasts just because they couldn't get over that challenge.
The visual part of the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
And so lately I've been looking at the podcast. I'm like, dang. Anyway, so he told me I had to put more clothes on.
No, I didn't.
I know you did it. But I'm just thinking, shit.
Babe, you need to talk into the mic.
Like the mic's in my mouth.
No,
trust me. I know when it's in my mouth.
Exactly. You hear that?
Okay. But anyways, so he gives me the news and Audrey's like, I'm like, listen, Audrey, you stepped out of the room. And I'm like, listen, I know it sucks. I said, but your daddy's already upset. And let's not make it worse than what it is.
Nice.
Because
blame it on dad.
No. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not going to let you see how upset I am that, I have to do this because it is what it is. We're going to do it. It's going to be great. And I'll get over, he's like, you're, cause I went to go look at my face again. And he's like, you're in the mirror again, putting more makeup on. I'm like, yes. I'm like, just let me be. Like, I got to psych myself up to be in front of this camera, So yeah, I took a little bit of time and I said, you know what, get that sake out.
Let's do it. Yeah, last time we didn't.
Sake out.
That was a really good podcast, though.
Oh,
it was so good. Sucks for you guys, but it was so good.
We're going to try. We're going to do our best because we want, this is the thing, just it being authentic, like you said, organic, trying to get that back.
Yeah.
You know, but it's.
But to be honest, like, this is episode 59. I really can't believe that this didn't happen before.
Yeah.
You know, so in a way, whatever. Like,
we've been blessed.
Yeah.
Until today. No.
There you go. And you like to say that I'm the fucking Debbie Downer. Look at me lifting.
Look at me. Look at me. No.
Look at me over here.
You're stupid. So guess what, everybody? We decided that we were going to start our podcast with good news, happy news, because the regular news doesn't bring it. But there's a lot of good things happening today. There are people right now that are actually that have fought off the coronavirus, that are doing well, and we should celebrate those people and the people that have been in the grocery stores 24 hours, and our nurses and our doctors and all that great stuff. Because before we usually start off with the coronavirus and how many deaths,
and that is something.
Talk about how many survivors we have,
and that's something that we were talking about. Like, everybody knows the news about the coronavirus. Like, it's no secret; it's everywhere. So for me to share numbers, just assume that the numbers are still going up. And
dang, babe,
you know,
really?
Like, I mean, but what are you gonna do? Like, I mean, I could read off the statistics or whatever, but you know, like, you guys know, and is that strong? Is that sake strong? So this was full of water before, and I didn't realize that it still had water in it, and I poured sake into it.
Ew, gross.
So I'm powering through this, and then I'll fill it back up. Anyway, so yeah, the coronavirus, everybody knows what's up. So we figured if there's something new that we need to talk about or something good, then we'll bring that up. And for those of you that are fans of rap music, Eminem, in one of his I think he put out a movie in 2006 or something like that. It was called 8 Mile. And it was about him being, like, how he came up rap battling in clubs or whatever. And in that movie, he talks about him getting ready to go out and battle and how he would be so nervous in the bathroom and how he threw up on his sweater, Mom Spaghetti. Like, and that became like a big line for people that are into hip hop music and rap music. Yeah. Like, Mom Spaghetti. Everybody knows Mom Spaghetti. So he went to a hospital in Detroit and bought all the staff Mom Spaghetti.
Oh, that's cool.
But I don't know how it worked, like Mom Spaghetti. I think it was a spaghetti place or an Italian place in Detroit or whatever. And they put labels on it that says Moms, and it's got like a mom tattoo, and it says Shady Records, you know, for Slim Shady. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. You guys can go check it out.
Slim Shady.
And another thing is the mayor of New York created a phone number for people to text, pretty much to dime out the people that
like to snitch?
Yeah, to snitch. Snitches get stitches.
Yes.
So he created this phone number for people that are not practicing social distancing. So if you're in New York City and you catch people that are not social distancing, you can snap a picture and text it to this number and put them all on blast.
Oh, no.
So what the internet did was they started texting memes and dick pics to that number. So there you go. That's what you get, you know?
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know what he thought. What do you think is going to happen when you put out a public phone number for people to text?
Right.
You had to know that was coming.
Yeah. Hey, you know, why does this taste so different? So, like, when we go out to eat and we have sake bombers.
Yeah, it's different. It's different because they give you a shot of sake in a beer, and then you drink the entire thing in like 2 seconds. That. So you want to be slamming sake bombs while we're doing the podcast?
That would be fun.
That's why this is straight sake. Usually you drop that into the beer and then you chug the whole thing.
Chug.
So we can chug if you want to.
Chug. So we should have did that on our anniversary.
We should have.
Yeah.
But anyway, so for those of you out there listening, if you haven't followed the video version of the podcast, you can find that on Facebook. You can find it on YouTube. You can find the audio version of this podcast everywhere. And I think the easiest place to find all of it is at oppositesattractpod.com or oppositesattractpodcast.com. Either one will take you to our website. And
for show.
There you'll see all the links to all of our social media, our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. You can subscribe, you can share. You can also see the video podcast on our website. And if you click on the Support the Show tab at the top, it'll take you to our Amazon link. And the Amazon link, anything that you purchase through Amazon through our link, also gives us a kickback. So it helps out the show. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And yeah, you guys can help us out. And there's also a link to Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
And Trust Inc., we are a nationwide mobile notary agency. We do a lot of work for title companies, law firms, and if you have an individual or something that needs to be notarized, hit us up. We are also independent associates with Legal Shield, and what Legal Shield does is it gives you access to your rights in the palm of your hand for a small monthly subscription. So I'm in the process of helping a friend get her father's estate plan in place. So a lot of people are looking to put all that together. So I don't know what happened, but with this whole pandemic that came up, Legal Shield has definitely increased, like the business increased.
Really?
Like a lot of our friends have mentioned that, the membership has kicked off.
Well, that's true. I mean, I guess if you have a certain situation where you may have lost your job or a place that you did business with, like something happened, I don't know. Maybe they went out of business. Like, I have no idea. But you don't have to pay $200-300 an hour to talk to an attorney. You can just pick up the phone and call them and get advice, which most people can't do. But if you have Legal Shield, you can do that.
Yes. So there you go. There's our plugs. We tend to forget our plugs.
Yes. Yes, we do.
But we got those in. So today I was grocery shopping, and I was wearing my mask and my huge sunglasses and shopping. I heard someone call my name, and I looked, and it was one of my clients that I helped with their loan refi. And so she's like, Sonia? And I'm like,
nice.
Yeah. I'm like, and then I looked at her, and she's like, her husband says, hey, my husband's been watching your podcast on YouTube. And I'm like, nice. Because the things that we talk about, like when I go to these appointments, babe, really, when I go to these appointments, like I'm professional. I'm dressed very professional. It's that role playing that, we'll get into that a little later on. But, you listen to the podcast and you're like, okay, girl, I see you got a little crazy in you.
This is the thing.
But we all have crazy.
Exactly.
You guys are crazy. I know you crazy.
Yeah.
We're all crazy.
Yeah, who you calling crazy?
Right? Everybody that's watching. Everybody's got a little bit of crazy in them.
Yeah. We just let it out for the world to see.
Right? But I asked her, I'm like, how did you recognize me? She said, my hair.
Oh, yeah. That's a giveaway. That's a dead giveaway.
I got that poof going on. Yep. So anyways, that was kind of cool to run into, some of my clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this week, I don't know. I was just kind of thinking about, I don't know what happened, but I just kind of had like a shift. Oh, I know what it was. It was the kids' books. So we've talked about the Jocko books, the Jocko kids books, especially on the podcast, the kids reading the kids books. And we just got finished with the last Jocko book. So Joey needs something to read. So I was like, you know what? Let's get something that he would like to read, something that he would enjoy reading. Mm-hmm. So maybe it'll make him want to read it.
Right.
And then we'll get that for him. So we got, it's like this book about a zombie goldfish. Attack of the Zombie Goldfish or something. I don't fucking know.
Hey, it sounds like something that a little 8-year-old boy would enjoy reading.
So before, what we were doing is I would take my lunch break and I would sit down with him and we would read the Jocko book. But we're done with that and the new books came in. So we sit down and we start reading. And this book is just it's stupid.
What do
like
you
the
mean?
way they write, it's just ridiculous. Like they're making up words. The grammar's not even correct. And like the Jocko book is a kid's book, but at least it's written properly.
Yeah. That's how I felt about the Cat in the Hat books. Like everybody loved them, but when I started reading them to the kids, even when they were babies, I'm like, do I really want to read this and have the kids, you know, like learn from this?
You know, because like we're sitting there reading, and then there's like words that pop up, and he's like, "Dad, what is that?" And I'm like, "I don't even like. That's a made up word. It's stupid. Don't worry about it." You know, that's what I'm telling him. You know, so like at a certain point, I just got freaking tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Go put that freaking book away. You can read that on your own if you want. That's a stupid fucking book anyway.
You didn't? You told him that?
No, I didn't. But I was thinking to myself, like, I'll find something that I can read with the kids.
Yeah.
So a while back, Santa Claus brought them something.
Oh.
Yeah. So we were at Costco and we saw these books by I think it's Britannica, the encyclopedia company, but it was a set of books that had something like real exciting gifts that we give our kids, books. Yeah, that's what we do in this house. Get them the best gifts, books. Well, you know, you learn some shit. So
yeah, you do.
But they have like
hey,
it's
I don't care what you're reading. Reading is great.
Yeah, it is. So it's got a book about space. It's got a book about like famous landmarks. It's got a book about the ocean.
They're
it's got
super cool.
A book about geography. And then it comes with like a Google Cardboard thing that you can put your phone in, and then you do like a VR thing. So like for the space book, it'll reference like, hey, you can go to the app, you can download the app, and then you put the phone in the thing, and then it's like you're standing on the moon, and then you can see the spacecraft.
I love him. Yeah. Like when I first tried it, I wish I had books like that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it's so cool because, like you said, when you know you're on the moon, you're actually on the moon, like, and you can go and look side to side, and it's real. It seems very realistic.
Yeah, and there's a way that you can click on stuff in the little VR headset, so it'll play a video.
Give you information.
It'll give you more information. Like so, if you look at the spacecraft, it'll play a video of the spacecraft, and then an astronaut pops out, and then you see him walking along space on the moon, whatever. Anyway, so I decided, you know what, we're gonna start going through these books so that they can learn about it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like I started getting the idea. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start doing experiments with the kids. So I went into
the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not on the kids.
Well, with all of you, because you've been part of the experiments too. So I went and I just kind of remembered from when I was growing up in school, and I grabbed a lime and I just wrote like AZ on the lime for Arizona, and then I got a flashlight and we all went into the bathroom where it's dark, and I'm like turning the lime and shining the flashlight on it, and I'm telling them like, this is how Earth goes through space. Like we're turning, cool. and I was telling like, this is what makes daytime and nighttime. So, and I start turning it, and I'm like, you see right there, the light is just getting to Arizona. So this is when the sun comes up. Yeah. And then this is daytime, and then you turn it all the way around, and like this is nighttime. And then I started thinking about, I know there's a way to make a sundial.
Yeah.
So we looked up a video that explains what a sundial is, how it works, and how to make one. And we ended up making a sundial in the backyard.
And they were super excited. Like they were excited about that. They were excited about learning.
Yeah. So that was really cool. So
you're doing good, Daddy.
Yeah. Thanks, babe.
Doing good, Daddy. I have a picture. I'm going to have to put it up for everybody if I didn't.
Yeah. So
but I did send it to their teachers just to show them that, hey, we're trying here.
Yeah.
we're doing some things here.
So
we planted sunflowers too.
Yeah. We planted sunflowers. So, and then we'll go through the rest of the books with them so they can learn about different things. But I was just kind of thinking, like, let's say the kids never went back to school, ever. If any, I mean, I know that's like, that sounds like a nightmare.
You guys don't listen to Miguel. The moms are like, wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
No.
So if they were to never go back to school, like, what kind of stuff would we be teaching them?
Yeah.
You know, like, this is the kind of stuff.
Dude, for reals, that entrepreneur in me is going to come out.
Exactly. Yeah. And finances.
Yes.
So,
money.
Got to teach
how to
them
make that money.
The important
It doesn't grow on trees. I remember my mom used to tell me that all the time. Hey, money doesn't grow on trees. You know? And I was listening to Eckhart Tolle.
You got flies?
I got something, unless I'm seeing things now. No.
Yeah.
Eckhart Tolle was talking about
the new earth.
Yes, the new earth. I love it. By the way, I listened to it. Now I'm re-listening to it. But he talked about how a lot of our past creeps up on us, and the way we react at times has a lot to do with things that we've gone through in our childhood. And the one thing you and I have went through, I don't know so much you, but just growing up in a broke home.
Yeah.
Not only relationships, but broke, like no money broke.
Yeah.
He says that that's a trigger for us. Think about that. When somebody messes with your money,
yeah,
how it affects you.
Yeah.
Or how you're very cautious of what you're spending, and if a certain, you know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, I was just listening earlier when I went to Costco earlier today. I was listening to a podcast with Jocko, and he was talking about finances, and he was saying something about like how people sometimes hit him up, and they're like, dude, why are you going so heavy on the finances and this and that? And he was like, well, you would be surprised how many times people come up to me and they're asking me questions, because that is a huge part of a family, of what people have to deal with. And if you don't do it correctly, it can be a huge stress.
Right.
You
huge.
know?
I mean, the number one cause of divorce is finances.
That's what they say. I don't know who they are.
You know?
But that's what they say.
Yeah.
Yep. So earlier in the week also, Audrey was taking, or she was in this art class online. And there was a girl. So the art class has like this chat room where the students can post messages, the teacher can post messages, whatever. And earlier in the week, there was this girl in the class that's 6, and she posted something in Spanish. And
she's sick.
Or not that she's 6. She's in 6th grade.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Audrey's in 5th grade.
Yeah.
And this girl's in 6th grade, and she posts something in Spanish, like written out in Spanish in the art class. And then somebody responded back to her in Spanish. And then somebody else said, I put what you wrote in Google Translate. And she's like, I don't like using Google Translate because it's not accurate or whatever.
Right.
And then he said something about, or maybe I think it was another kid that posted something and said that he doesn't speak Spanish, or he doesn't speak any other languages. And then the 6th grader said something like, well, if you don't speak any other languages or something like that, then you pretty much need to get a life, and that you're an idiot. That's pretty much what she said in this chat room. And we're like, what the?
No. So our little loving daughter.
Yeah, she's a little sweetheart.
She is.
So she ends up going, she sees the message and she's not liking it. So she decides that she's going to respond to this girl. And she tells her like, hey, we're all here in an art class because we want to learn and because we like art. And just because he doesn't speak another language doesn't mean that he's an idiot. And if he's an idiot, because she was kind of saying that he was an idiot only because he's in 5th grade. And she's, she said, I'm in 6th grade, you're in 5th grade, and I know more than you.
Right.
That's what she said in the post. And she's like, I'm in 5th grade too, and if you think that he's an idiot, then you're pretty much calling me an idiot. And that's not nice. That's not right.
Yeah.
And then the teacher jumped in and she took care of the situation.
So then Adriana is very, she's proud about what she did. So of course she's going to talk to daddy. She's going to go tell daddy that she's sticking up, to someone. And
then like, I was just kind of thinking to myself, like, well, I mean, it's not like I got on her or anything. I was just asking her like, so what happened? And she's like, oh, this girl was being mean and I said something. And I was like, well, maybe you shouldn't have said anything. Out of it. Like, just stay out of it. Don't say anything at all. And she told me, she's like, well, you told me before that when somebody's getting picked on, that we should stick up for them.
Yes.
And I didn't know what to say. I'm like,
No, I heard that part and I'm like, oh, she's got you there. She's got you. But the Jocko book that we've been reading with the kids,
I got it right here.
There's a part in there that states, so they have a code.
Yeah.
Go ahead, baby. You could do it.
So this is in all the Jocko books, it's got the Warrior Kid Code. This is in a kid's book, by the way.
Now, that book's great for adults as well.
So number 4 on the Warrior Kid Code, it says the Warrior Kid trains to know how to fight so that he can stand up to bullies and protect the weak. Number 5 is the Warrior Kid treats people with respect and helps out other people whenever possible.
So our little darling, was doing what she learned and what we talked to them about. But I feel that it's different. It's a different, social media is a different ball game.
Yeah.
You know, we as adults, we've gone through that. We've gone through where we've read a post, I have, where I disagreed and I'm like, oh, you're being a jerk. Like, I'm thinking to myself, but I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth your time. Like, for me, I don't know, like time, when you get older, time is the one thing that, it just becomes very valuable. And it's just like, I'm not going to waste my time going in and causing more drama. Like, just leave it as it is. Leave it alone.
Who gives a shit?
Yes.
It's like, truly.
Yes. So that's another, that's just something else that we need to talk to them about. And there's probably a parenting class on, on that as well.
So this is the thing, is that I was talking to my friend Stevens, because Stevens, that's been on the podcast. He was on the podcast last week, and he's been on a couple times. And we were talking about what had happened, because he's got a 12-year-old daughter. Yeah. And this seems like something that would be right up their alley for what they talk about on Like Father, Like Daughter podcast, if you guys want to check it out. And we were saying, like, there's just different situations. So in some situations, maybe you just want to stay completely out of it. Like, you don't want to do anything. Yeah. In some situations, you're going to have to stick up for people to a point, because, you're not, I don't know. Like, there's situations. There's situations where you should stick up for other people, and that's social media. That's what you, social media is a different animal.
Oh, okay.
It's
so
a different
you're talking about,
game.
Okay.
I'm just talking about different, on social media is one of those things. Like, I think it's always better just stay out.
Right.
Stay out. Like, okay. Like, if you're dealing with somebody in person, then maybe you have to get involved.
Yeah.
But on social media, it's like, you know what, I'm out. Whatever. Or in this case, like my friend Stevens was saying, he's like, well, maybe she should have just contacted the teacher and let her know what's going on. And that's what ended up happening. The teacher got involved. But what he was saying was like that her heart was in the right place. Right. Her intentions were correct.
Yes.
But the action maybe wasn't the best, like to get involved.
Yeah.
And they're going to actually talk about it on their podcast. If you guys want to listen to it, you can go to likefatherlikedaughterpodcast.com or just look them up.
What's really cool about their podcast is that you're hearing from a little 12-year-old. You're hearing from a little girl.
Like, she's living through it.
Who's exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Like, and so that's very cool. That's
cool. What with the social media, this is one thing that I've thought about a little bit. When it comes to kids want cell phones and they want to be on social media. And actually Stevens has talked to his daughter about it, and she wants to be on social media, and she gives reasons for why she wants to be on it. But the truth is, we really don't know much about the effects that social media has on us, because it hasn't been around that long. It's been around for 10 years. So when we were growing up, there was no social media. And even we know as adults that we get hooked on it.
Yeah.
And we don't know what happens exactly to kids. Think about when their phone is going bing and they're like, oh my God, I got a message. Right. Oh, how many people like my picture?
How popular are you on social media?
And then you're checking it and you don't have any more likes. And you're like, oh, nobody liked it. And then bam, somebody liked it. Oh my God. Yeah. It's like, is that good?
And it's not even, and it's that, and it's the social media bullying. Like, there's, and there's a lot of individuals that I have relationships with that have lost, and this is like a Debbie Downer. Babe, you suck. Don't do that. It's like a serious subject right now.
Oh, sorry.
But kids, young adults, teenagers who committed suicide because of social media,
on social media
bullying. So that is a parenting class that Gilbert hosts that I would like for us to take. And I think that even Sylvia, what's her name? Oh,
Sandy Semino.
Bad. Yeah, Sandy Semino. Like, she deals with that. And maybe we should have her back on the podcast when things start to, get better, and talk to us about social media, like bullying, because it's real. It is a real thing. And that, and the one thing that she did say that made a whole lot of sense was, because we don't agree that our children should have cell phones until they're old enough to purchase their own cell phone. But the one thing that she said, well, she said many good things, but she said, well, wouldn't you prefer them to go through some things while they're under your roof?
That is true.
Versus, getting a cell phone and then being on their own and not knowing how to deal with that in your presence and you not being there.
Yeah,
and
but
that made a whole lot of sense.
No, it did.
I am still not down to get, to get our children a cell phone.
But what about, okay, so let's say like
why?
At 16, they're still living in our house.
Yes.
Maybe at 16 they can get social media, because this is
I don't want to say that, because what if they better not be listening to
it. All depends on their maturity. It all depends on their maturity. Right. And I don't like, we know social media fucks up adults.
Yeah, it has its good things and its bad things. Just like everything in life, we have to have balance.
Like how many
everything.
How many adults are face down on their phone and like they get that feeling when they get the or whatever. Like and imagine a freaking
16, and it's not even that. Like, think about this. It's like you're feeling like shit, you're depressed, you're stressed out, whatever. You're feeling life just sucks. Life sucks, and you go on social media and you see all your friends having a great time. They're on vacation, they're in love, they got engaged, or you know what I'm saying? Like all this pretty
like everything looks
fairy
perfect.
Tale. Yeah. Yes.
And us as adults, we know you guys are all full of shit.
We are full of shit.
That's not your fucking life. You don't do that every day.
But
but kids don't, like, they may not understand the difference.
They don't know.
They're like, wow, how come they get to do all that cool shit?
Right. But even us as adults, it gets to our psyche.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's the thing that gets me, is that, I don't want them to get caught up in that. I want them to live life. I want them to actually be out and socializing and communicating, not texting. Yeah. That's secondary. Talking, communicate about disagreements, agreements. Yeah, I'm all for that. Texting, that's not how you solve problems.
What do you guys think out there? For those of you out there that are listening, what do you guys think about an appropriate age for social media? If you guys want to call us and leave us a message, you guys can call 480-912-5128. And the way our messages work is you can call us, you'll hear our recording, you can leave us a message, and then we'll play it on the next podcast.
Yes.
At the moment, we're not doing live recordings, but we will eventually. We'll send out a text or whatever, and then you guys can call in while we're recording. But we'll get that sorted out in the future. But yeah, what do you guys think? Or if there's parents that are older that have kids that are 18 that have been through the social media or whatever, like, how did you guys handle it? Because that is something, I don't know. I don't really see the benefit. Like, there's a lot more bad stuff that can happen, that can come from social media than good. There's more bad than good that can come from it for a kid.
And that's your opinion.
I'm just saying, like, getting addicted to the fucking phone.
No, I feel you. No,
and
totally
just nonstop
understand.
everywhere you go, your face is in a phone. Like, no. Yeah.
And see, and this is the thing, like, that's how we feel. And as podcasters and entrepreneurs, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I absolutely do my best to be present with the kids when they're talking to me. Like, when I'm off work, I try to be off work. Yeah. Like when we have dinner as a family.
No, when you're working, phone, you're working.
There's no.
And when you're not, you're not.
Right. And I think it's very important for us as the adults to lead by example and show them the right way. Yeah. Because we can tell them, okay, this is incorrect or this is wrong, but then we're doing the thing that we're telling them not to. But we're pretty good about that. I'm just saying, if you're going to talk to your kids and tell them, how you feel and what you feel is right, and then they see you doing the total opposite, they're going to question.
They're going to know you're not about that life. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, for sure. So, I've been doing a lot of driving lately, and I've been doing a lot of audio learning, right?
Yeah.
And I was listening to this audio, and I want to ask you a question to see what you think. Do you feel that you treat people different in certain situations?
Yeah.
Like role playing. I don't even know how to get into this without just.
Okay.
Well, I'll give you an example. So,
Yes.
You're at work.
Okay.
You have your boss.
Yes.
And then your coworkers.
Yes.
Do you feel that you are a different person with your boss than you are with your coworkers?
Okay. You know what? I just thought about this right now. Yes. Yeah. It depends on the relationship I have with my boss. There are some bosses that I would, and then there's some bosses that I wouldn't. There's coworkers that I would treat one way and coworkers that I wouldn't. It's just different.
Yeah.
But even as we record this podcast, like I'm thinking back, when we have certain, like when it's me and you, like we have our relationship and we have our relationship with our audience, and you guys know what this is. You guys know how we are. And if you're listening to this podcast, like you're here because you know who we are. And there's nothing that we need to, but when we have a guest, it's different. Like I don't want to offend the guest. I don't want to offend. So obviously, maybe I'll contain myself a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, but it's just out of respect for the people that I'm around.
So the reason why I'm asking you this is because I've been reading The New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, and he
Oprah's
talks
boy?
about, yes.
Oprah's boy.
He talks about the different roles that we play.
Yeah.
And how it's attached to our ego.
Okay.
And when I started to think about that, like, I understand what he's saying. And I tried not to be that person. Like, I try to be as real and authentic with everyone around me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because before I didn't. I felt before that I was putting my best, like I was me. Everybody outside of here saw the best of me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe because, and I was thinking about this after the first recording because we were talking about this, and I felt like I was giving my clients and everybody else the best of me. And when I came home, I was drained. You weren't getting to see that spiritual, uplifted, positive individual that they got to see. Because by the time I came home, I was drained.
That's messed up.
Exactly.
No, you know what? I've thought about that too. I have thought about it in the past, like with work. Like, you know how I am. Like I bust my ass. I try to do the best I can. And I want...
You do the best you can. You do the best you can.
But then when I get home, it wasn't the same type of thing. Like I guess I didn't put the same amount of energy that I would into work as I did when I was at home. And it's like, I kind of thought about it. And it's like, why the fuck would I go to work and bust my ass so hard to be such a good fucking example of whatever at work and not do that around my family? You know?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. But it's a thing.
But if you're not aware, and that's what he's talking about, like if you're not aware of this, you will continue to live your life like this. But once you become aware, you become conscious of your actions, what you say, what you do. And for real, like my whole goal is to be that person.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
I want to be that person all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to treat the waiter any different than the owner of the restaurant.
Yeah. I don't know. No, definitely. That what you're talking about right now is something that I think there is no excuse for that. Like that shouldn't change. The way you treat people shouldn't change no matter where you're at, or whether you're at home, whether you're at work, whether you're at a restaurant, whether you're wherever. I mean, that's a different thing.
Imagine how much energy you can consume if you were just you.
Like food?
You. But most people don't know who they are. They don't know what brings them happiness. They don't know what brings them joy. They don't know what they want. When you ask, what do you want in life? What?
Yeah, they're just kind of wandering.
But everybody, I can tell you that we all want the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's joy. That's peace. Happiness. It's love. That's what we all want. You know what I'm saying? And some of us want success, but everybody has a different definition of success. Yours may be money.
But that's not really
just. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Well, you know what? This is a good time to get into that question from our listener. Derek Ellis had sent us a question. He's one of our listeners, one of our new listeners. Welcome, Derek.
Yes.
And he was talking about how he's young. He's 31, and he's achieved a bunch already in his life. Like I think he's a business owner.
Yes.
Right.
Every goal that he has put out, he has succeeded at it.
Yeah, and he's a paramedic or an EMT or something like that. Forgive me for not knowing exactly, but pretty much everything that he's wanted to do, he's already done.
Right.
And so it's like, so where do you go from here?
And that's where he's
you know what
at.
I mean? It's like he's trying to find out what to do next, because it's almost like it's kind of boring or stale, I guess.
Yeah.
Or something like that at this point, right?
He's like you were talking about autopilot, how a lot of us are on autopilot.
Yes.
And I feel that that's just it. Like and so I want to talk to him to find out, to learn a little more from him, to see, what his passions are.
Yeah.
What is it that he wants in life? Because I think once you can figure that out, everything else will fall into place. And sometimes you're just it's not going to come to you right away. I can tell you, like right now, like Trust Inc. is amazing. Legal Shield is great. I love the podcast, and I know the podcast is going to open many other doors. But and maybe there's not a bigger purpose. Maybe my purpose is just to go minister on every, appointment I go to. I don't know. But it's like, maybe I'm sitting right now in my purpose. I feel great. I feel good. I love where I'm at right now. But before, I felt lost. I felt that there was more. I was looking for more. I was like so unhappy. It was like I was not fulfilled with no matter what I did, because I felt that there was more and more and more. Like I kept telling God, I know you have a purpose. I know you have a purpose. I know that there's something big. Just let me know what it is. And he keeps telling me, be patient. I need you to be patient. Live in the moment.
Yeah.
Live in the moment.
So when I heard the question, the first thing that I was thinking of, and I was telling you about it, was I was thinking of the astronauts. Like when they go into space, or when they go to the moon, this is something that I heard. You guys can look it up for yourselves. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I've heard that like when astronauts come back from space, a lot of times they end up depressed because they've been in space. they've been in space, or they've been on the moon, or they've done, they've accomplished more than. I mean, how many people in humanity could say that they've been to space? Like they've seen Earth from space. That's freaking insane.
Yeah. And I can't even wrap my mind around that.
And then when you get back from space, what the hell are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Play a freaking game of dominoes? Like that doesn't mean shit. Yeah. You've been in space.
Yeah.
Like what do you do now? So one thing that I heard was that a lot of times, like they have to set, before they even go to space, they have to set goals for when they get back. Like when they get back from space, they're going to do this, or they're going to start doing this, and they're going to work on the next thing. Because if not, it's like you're just sitting around like, what the fuck am I going to do now?
Right.
I've been to space.
Makes sense, yeah.
And so one thing that I would say is to find something that you that you like, something that you have an interest in. There's so many ways that you can do things for yourself. Podcasting is one of these things that there's podcasts about everything. Yeah. So if you like gaming, maybe you could do a gaming podcast. Maybe you could do a gaming review channel. If you like archery, if you like jujitsu, chances are you probably don't, or you may not know much about it. But, whatever it is that you like to do on your spare time, maybe figure out how you could do that full time. And I can guarantee you that whatever that is going to be work.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough because nothing like this podcast. We enjoy this podcast. We love doing it. It's tough. This is
it's
work. Like there is no time when I feel like, you know what, we got this podcasting thing down 100%. You know what I mean? Like
and then all of a sudden,
you guys that listen know there's room for growth, right?
Yeah, right.
So I'm just saying,
but that's something. And that's the thing. Go ahead. I didn't want to.
No, I'm just saying, like, find something difficult to do.
Yes.
And go after it.
And what you mentioned on the previous podcast, like an hour before this, is that personal development. Like, there's always
that is never ending.
Yes, you're always going to be growing. You should always be looking at becoming a better version of you.
Yep.
And I mean, that can mean a whole lot of things. But once you're aware of the things that you know that you have to work on, focus on that. And once you start to focus on becoming the best you can be,
go get jacked.
Seriously, like, opportunities will start to come your way. You know what I'm saying?
What if you like to get jacked?
What do you mean?
Turn that into a business.
What do you mean jacked?
I'm saying, like, if you like working out. Oh. And you like, and you know what?
Yeah.
Anything.
Yes.
Build it.
But it's knowing what it is that you want. Like, we were all born, I feel this way anyways. We were all born with gifts. Your job is to figure out what that gift is. And most of us are so caught up in life that we don't give ourselves the time to figure that out. And then you reach 40 and you start to self-reflect, and you come to find out that all the time you spent doing whatever that may be.
Yeah. It was like time. I wouldn't say time wasted.
No. But time that you could have spent
doing something else.
Building your dreams. Building your passion.
You know what? This is, I actually stopped and wrote this down while I was at Costco. So normally we would go to Costco once, if not twice a week. Now we're going to Costco once every 2 weeks. And when we would go to Costco, we would spend an hour and a half, whatever, walking around, shopping, looking at shit, doing whatever. And I was just kind of thinking, I was like, dude, we used to spend a shit ton of time at Costco. Like, just going shopping, looking at stuff. It's obvious that we don't have to go to Costco every week, right? What could we be doing with that time that we spent going to Costco instead of doing that shit? Yeah. Like, we could be building the podcast, doing other shit. So just making better use of our time.
Right.
And
it seems...
because that's a waste of time, is going to Costco, walking around, grabbing a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
When you could be doing something productive.
But it seems, seriously, like, this is so crazy. You don't get this shit when you're young. You don't. No. Because time, for reals, it feels like time slows down. You know what I'm saying?
When?
Like, when you're young.
Oh,
like, you don't realize how precious time is.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
you think you got all the time in the world.
When you're a kid, you're like, shit, I have to, like, you fight the naps, you fight everything. It's like you have no sense of time whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then you become a teenager, still nothing. I think, I'm telling you, the older you get, the more you're going to realize it. So if you guys are watching this and you're younger, if you grasp the concept of the importance of time.
Yeah. Well, we were just listening to this podcast. And for those of you out there, for Derek, for Derek for sure, and for everybody else that's listening out there, We were just listening to this Jocko podcast number 226. And normally, I mean, he's a former Navy SEAL and he reads a lot of war books and stuff like that. But he just got done writing a book and it's called The Code, I believe. But he was kind of explaining part of this book or the parts of the book. But it's an awesome podcast and we have to go back and listen to it again. But one of the things that they were talking about was how a lot of people go through life on kind of like an autopilot, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And if you go through life, like if you're just going through life doing whatever, then your life and you just kind of become whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you have direction and you have focus, you have goals, you have things planned out,
yeah,
that's what your life becomes.
Yes.
So what do you expect if you're just kind of like, all right, well, I wake up, I go to work, I fuck around, and then I go to sleep. And then I wake up, I go to work, I fuck around, go to sleep.
Yep.
Like, I mean, what do you expect?
I mean, this is a great analogy. Have you guys ever been in your car and drove from work to home or home from work? And once you got wherever you were going, whether it was work or home, you're like, how in the hell did I get here? Like, you don't remember stopping at a stoplight or the lights. You're on freaking autopilot. You're not paying attention because your mind is so busy with whatever it's busy with that you weren't present.
Yeah.
You have no idea how you got home. Thank God you got home safe. I've done it. I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. Have you ever done it?
Yeah, I've done it a bunch of times.
Autopilot.
Yep. So, yeah, I think that Jocko podcast number 226. It's an awesome podcast. I mean, they get into all kinds of stuff that is really, really good stuff. So
yeah.
And especially, I mean, I think what I was just talking about is something that a lot of people are probably dealing with right now, being locked in the house and not having anywhere to go. And just kind of being like, all right, well, I wake up, I do this, and I kind of work around the house, and then I go to bed. And then I do the same thing the next day, the day after that. And it's like, well, we got time.
Yeah.
We got time to do some things.
Yeah. Learn some things. Learn something new. It's endless with, technology today. It's endless. YouTube, how to.
Yeah, how
to make a mask.
How to make a mask.
That's
how I made the mask. That's how I started a podcast. That's how I fix my cars. That's how I fix the freaking refrigerator. Yeah. I freaking YouTube the shit out of everything. So you can YouTube some good. You don't have to fucking sit there and watch twerking videos all day. You can learn some shit. Besides how somebody's ass shakes.
And then you can have, some time to yourselves. Like I was up there, we were about to paint our toenails before my husband came up there and said, hey, we got to record the podcast.
Again.
All over again.
Shit.
It's life.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's just a little, little bump, little hurdle. It's all good.
Yeah.
We had some sake this time around. I'm feeling good. I didn't even finish.
Are you going to drink more sake? Are we doing this again? I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan either, unless we drop it in a beer and then chug it.
And then maybe we need to chill it. Chill it and chug it. That's what we need to do.
Chill and chug. Chill and chug.
That's what we're going to be doing that tonight. So last week we were talking about forgiving and forgetting. And then at some point you mentioned it, and I've mentioned it, or you've mentioned it before, like about how I can be cold, or not really. Like, I don't think that you think I'm a jerk.
Baby,
but like
I love you.
It's kind of like cold-hearted. Mm. Like how I could just like cut somebody off and be like, you know what? You're dead to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not that I'm cold. Like, I mean, for the people that I'm close to.
Did I make you feel a certain way?
No.
Are you sure? Because you're talking about it.
Well, I am. Just to kind of clarify, because the thing is, I'm not cold-hearted.
You're not. You're a great man.
And
you're a great man.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.
A little slow there. No, I'm kidding.
But the people that I'm close to, the people that I care about, and yeah, I'm loving, I'm close to them. And you know what? When I think about it even more, it's like, no, I'm not. I treat people, I guess, the way they deserve to be treated. Not the way I want to be treated, but I treat them the way they have me treat them. You know what I mean? And because like we've done stuff. Like I was actually thinking about Costco, and I was like, hey, we're doing all right. And if we're doing all right, then like I talked to you about it. It's like, then we need to do more.
Yeah. I didn't mean,
you know what I mean?
And if I came off as if I was saying you're an asshole, there's no way, because I would never have married an asshole. I think it's just we are different, like you mentioned earlier. Like we are just different.
What the hell were you talking about with the? Oh, fuck! This sucks, dude.
I know we had such a good podcast.
You guys really missed out on the last podcast. No, so we were talking about just how we're so different, and like
how we would respond to certain situations. Like, Miguel had a situation with someone he knows. And, they've known each other for a long time. They were in the military together, and they had a really good friends. And Miguel kept reaching out to him, and wasn't getting a response. And so Miguel's...
That's what I would get.
Oh, okay. I'm like, dude, you better not be.
That's what I would get. Anytime I would call and...
Crickets.
Nothing. Yeah. And at a certain point, I just kind of felt like, you know what? The relationship means something to me. And I thought we had a great relationship, and I thought we had a great time together or whatever. Sounds like I'm gay as shit. But anyway.
Better not be. I'd chop your...
No, I'm just saying. No. It's like a friend of mine. It's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's up? Like, I'm hitting you up, and you're not calling me back. I sound like
he was taking it personal.
Bitch. But anyway, no, it's not that I was taking it personal, but I'm like, hey, I thought we were friends. Like, what's up? So at a certain point, I would call, no call back, call, no call back, call, no call back. And at a certain point, I was like, you know what? Like, I guess this is my aggressive nature, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to be fucking chasing people around. I'm not. So the way I see it, this is a two-way road, this relationship. And if you want to be friends, you can fucking hit me up from time to time. Yeah. So I left, like, no bullshit, my last, like, hey, man, we've been good friends from, I think we're good friends. We've had a great time together, whatever, super gay message that I left. And and I'm like, but I don't know what the deal is. Like, I think he was leaving out of town.
Yeah.
There was like a going away, and I didn't hear anything about it or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? If you want to continue being friends, like, hit me up. But this is the last time that I'm calling you.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, like, this is after like 10 phone calls that I've...
Yeah.
And it's not like I call 10 times in a row like I'm his girlfriend. I mean, like, over a course of a few months. Like, I'm like, hey, what's up? Nothing back. Hey, what's up? A couple weeks later, nothing back. So I was like, hey, man, I've been hitting you up, and if you still want to be friends, I'm here.
Yeah.
But this is the last time that I'm calling you. And then I got a call back. Like, hey, man, it's not like that. I'm sorry, man, whatever. And I was like, all right, so... And I'm just like, reset.
Yeah.
Reset, I'm good. But then I didn't hear anything back again.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? All right.
Forget it.
That's it. I'm done. But I'm not holding on to it.
Yeah.
I don't hold on to anything, because if it came back, if it was tomorrow, I got a message, I'm all good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm not all good in the sense like, fuck you, I'm out. I'm all good. Like, the past is the past. Dude? Like, hey, what's up? How have you been?
So you had asked me like how I would have handled that situation if it was me. And what I shared with Miguel is I learned a lesson a long time ago, not to jump to conclusions.
Yes.
In Legal Shield, I got... What do you want to...
So you were supposed to be meeting up with somebody.
Yeah. I got stood up. It was a business meeting, and, we were talking, and I felt like we had good rapport, and he, seemed like someone that was respectful, whatever. And I was sitting there, and nobody showed up. Nobody showed up, and I was upset. Like, I was upset.
Yeah.
And so I called and didn't answer, and I didn't leave. You know, I left a message, not an asshole message, but like, you know.
It was kind of like hey, I thought when we talked.
Like, what's up? Yeah.
I thought you were serious and you were a man of your word.
My time's valuable and blah, 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 blah kind of deal. Yeah. You know, like having that big ego.
Well, the thing is, that is true. Like, you're leaving your family to go work, which is what pisses a lot of people off that do that kind of thing, you know?
And
that kind of work.
I find out that, you know, he was in a car accident and, you know, everybody was okay. He had his wife with him. Everything was good, but I felt like shit. And I'm like, I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah.
So when a situation came up like that again, the call was, hey, you know, I hope everything's okay.
Yeah. And I could
kind of deal.
I could have done that on my message, which I didn't. But it turns out nothing was going on. I just wasn't getting a call back. But that's something that I didn't think about. I probably would think about it more now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about that recently.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
Because you just never know. Because
I've
been on the other end.
Yeah.
Like, where people have reached out to me. My friend, my good friend, does that. Like, Betty does that to me all the time.
Why are you dropping
Hey,
names?
I called you. You haven't called me back. Or, you know what I'm saying? But
I know,
it's
she's always crying about something.
Shut up. You're going to put that little thing on? Betty, get him, girl. Get him. But, you know, it's but it's like there's so much stuff going on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you never know what people are going through. So
yeah, that's true.
Just calm down, reach out, and don't be a butthole.
So
not that I'm saying you're a butthole.
But
you just don't know what's happening. You don't know what's happening on the other end.
But even after we recorded the podcast, like, there are certain things that we're just different.
Yeah.
We're not the same.
Well, that's why this podcast is called Opposites Attract.
And if we were in a war together and there was bullets flying and shit going down, you'd be like, hey, guys, can you guys put the guns down for a second?
Can we all kind of get together and just talk and work this out?
No, stop shooting for a second. I got to talk to you guys over there. Come here.
You're a fucking jerk.
You know what? No, hold on. I got flowers. You know, I
got flowers.
Oh, shit. Wrong button. Anyway, I got a boner. No, but you know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, I'd be shooting back or something. I don't know. Well, I can't say shit. I've never.
Well, but that's why we're together.
With my stapler, I'd be shooting back.
That's why it works. Because I learned from you and you learned from me.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, there are some situations, like some relationships, you know, where people have taken me for granted and you're like, man, I would have cut them off a long time ago. I've learned because I would always get hurt, right? Like, I would be crying, right?
Yeah.
You know, and be so hurt that somebody could be that way when I've never been that way with them. You know, and I'd be the first to apologize. Even if it's not my fault. I'll be the first to apologize. But that's my nature. That's who I am.
Yeah.
But now I'm a little more cautious of who, you know, it's just, I know better now. Like, I know this person and I know that they've done it to me several times. And so I still love her and there's no way I'm not going to be that person with her.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think if she does something again that I will cry about it. You know what I'm saying? Or be so devastated and hurt about it.
Yeah.
You know, because that's just who she is. And either I'm going to love her for who she is or cut her off. And I'd rather love her than cut her off. I'd rather have her in my life than cut her off, kind of deal. Yeah. Isn't that weird?
What are you talking about, Betty?
No.
Damn, Betty, you just got cut off. Sorry you had to find out about it through the podcast.
It's just, you know, we're all made different. That's it. Yeah. You know,
we're talking, like last week we were talking about forgiveness and all that, and like you felt like you had to apologize for what you said. I mean, you were going through something, you went off on somebody, and you felt afterwards you didn't feel good, and you felt like you had to apologize.
No, my spirit was not doing well.
Now, if it was me, I probably wouldn't. I may have told them off. If I did tell them off, if I said something inappropriate or something that wasn't true, then maybe I would feel like, okay, So if I was insulting them, or
oh, I see.
then maybe I would be like, you know what, that crossed the line.
Okay.
But if I was dropping facts,
right,
about how you're a piece of shit or whatever, and I'm like letting you know, I mean, I'm probably not gonna feel bad about it, and I'm probably not gonna have feelings about it afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just what makes us different. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, and you know what? And you know, to begin with, like I was telling you, I may not say anything at all. But you know what? I'm done. Like, I'm not going to waste energy on this. Or I might.
In this situation, you would have.
But it's like, you know what? I'm treating people the way they deserve to be treated.
Oh, see, I can't do that because it's not my nature. It really isn't. It's not my nature.
But like I said, I would
like if that was the case, you and I would be fighting all the time.
No,
not fighting all the time, but it's like
because
I'm softer than you. If I was like you, we would not be together.
No, it would take us longer to settle shit or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't treat you that way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because you don't deserve to be treated that way.
Aww. I got my own.
You know, so I don't know. And who knows? Maybe you guys can let us know. 480-912-5128. I mean, what do you guys think? Because that is, I don't know. It's tough.
Well, we already talked about, some people did give us their thoughts on forgive, forget. I should have wrote that down. One of our listeners stated, it's better to forgive in the Bible. That's what it says it in the Bible.
No,
and, great. And God is all about forgiving. And so.
Actually, Stevens and his daughter talked about it on their last podcast. They were talking, and she brought up murder. Do you forgive? You forgive murder? And not that I would want to talk about it, but one of our kids. Now, depending
why would you even go
I'm
there?
just saying, like,
towards the end of the podcast?
I'm just saying, like, depending on where your heart's at, I would be obviously, like anybody listening to this podcast, completely destroyed, devastated.
Yeah.
Now. No, I'm just saying. But listen, now, if it happened, if it was an accident, I could immediately forgive the person. And actually, I would feel like I have to do something or say something to that person to let them know, like, look, it was horrible, but accidents happen.
Yeah.
Like yes, this sucks for me. I'm a fucking disaster. Ugh. But you also have to live with this for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if it's not that, if it's a deliberate, like somebody breaks into your house, I have zero sympathy, zero forgiveness for that. I just don't.
Oh, and we're ending the podcast with this.
All right, guys.
That's horrible,
we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.
Holy shit, man.
But do you know what I mean? It's different.
I put my mind
you don't have to put yourself in it.
I know, but you just put that in me.
But forgive. So, yes, the Bible says you forgive everybody.
It's not even so much for, it's not that person. It's for you. And I don't know. I can't even answer that because I don't want to think about that. And I'm not going to put myself in that. So don't think about that.
Don't think about that. Think about something else. Something else that's very serious, and it wasn't an accident. It was deliberate. Something that was deliberately done to you with the intent. I don't know, man. With the intent.
I don't know.
For that to happen.
I can't say that because I've never been through something like that. But I can tell you that I feel that in order for me to let go, move on, and be happy, find that joy in my heart and my love to become complete again,
that you have to forgive?
I feel that. Like, that's just where my spirit lies. I can't, with what you just said, I can't even
No, I know.
I can't even take that in
or
right
let's
now.
say somebody else. Somebody else that you know.
Go there. I can't You know what I'm saying? I don't know because I've never been there. So I can't even answer that question. I
Yeah,
can't say, oh, yeah, I can forgive that person 100%. I can't say that. But what I can say is that my spirit, my soul says that in order for me to be happy and to be the person that God made me to be, that I would have to forgive that person, that I would have to forgive that person, not for that person, but for me to continue to move on and to continue to live my life. And
But what does it do for you?
it sets my soul free, my spirit free.
What does that mean?
I can't even tell you what that means. Like, in order for me to be...
Okay, so in your situation, you didn't say anything that wasn't true. You didn't insult, did you?
No, I just told her the truth.
So,
but
what did forgiving do for you?
Man, I was able to sleep better. I felt better. My joy was back.
Okay.
I was able to go and do the things that I needed to do, and the anxiety and stress and anger that I let go that day.
Okay, so let's say, so you know me, you know how I am.
Yeah.
Is that something that I need to do?
I don't know. I can't tell you what you
Well,
need
because
to do.
you know my personality, you know how I am, and you know how cold-hearted I am. And
now you're just being a jerk.
I'm just kidding. But no, what I'm saying is, like, you know my personality, you know who I am, and if I was to have done what you did,
you wouldn't have done that.
No, if I was...
Oh, you're talking about the whole...
Yes, like if I had a conflict with this person or another person or whatever, and I wasn't insulting, but I just let them have it the way they deserve to get it.
Good.
The way they deserve to get it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like for me,
no, you
I wouldn't be able to sleep,
no.
and I wouldn't be
You'd
able
be
to...
good. You'd be fine.
Okay. You know, it's like that. That's what I'm thinking. It's like it...
That's just you, though. That's who you are.
But so it's just different for different people. Some people have to handle the situation differently.
Back in the day, I don't think it would have kept me up. I'm just different today.
Okay.
I'm more aware. I'm more of me, my thoughts, my actions.
Yeah.
I'm just more aware today. Back then, I wouldn't have cared.
No.
You know, when you and I first got together, heck no.
Yeah. It's just
Crazy.
different. It's different. We're different people.
I'm different now than what I was when we first met.
Yeah.
I'm different than the person I was yesterday, I'm hoping.
Yep. Yeah, that is a lot of people are probably sliding right now.
Sliding? What do you mean?
Sliding backwards.
Why do you say that?
I'm just saying because we're all sitting at home, like you said, on autopilot, chilling. And
not everybody.
No, I'm not saying everybody. But a lot of people. I'm just saying. So.
It doesn't mean that they're sliding back.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like they're just living on auto?
Yeah, kind of like, I just do this. Like it's kind of like, well, this is my life. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just.
I can't even say it. I don't know how other people are living. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
Well, especially right now with everything that's happening, you can't go out, can't do shit, and you're just kind of like floating, getting by. So I think everybody can kind of, you know what? You were talking about like that personal development. That is something that is never ending.
Yeah.
There's always something to learn. Like you can, one of the things that they were talking about on that Jocko podcast is the first thing is like start getting in shape. Because it starts when you start with that. Yeah.
Round is a shape.
Like a pear shape. Yeah.
I'm not a pear shape.
No. You're like an upside down pear.
An upside down. I am not.
With the titties at the top.
But I got titties and ass. So what are you talking about?
It's like a double-sided pear.
I'm an hourglass. Get it right.
Exactly.
How do you not know that?
Sorry. Like a Coke bottle. Anyway.
People are like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Autopilot. Now you're talking about.
Fuck. Let's not get into the fitness thing. So we actually let's get into the fitness thing. So we were talking about we need to get into the fitness thing, which we've been talking a lot of shit about. That it just doesn't seem to be happening. The fitness it's kicking it off and going
has to. It's us. We have to make a decision.
Dude.
And I can tell you, like watching the podcast. Because I don't see, when I look in the mirror, I feel good. Like, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of my 6s still fit me. Yeah. My 8s are still, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm wearing a size 10. It's just, I know where I was. But when I look in the mirror, I still see sexy, man.
Oh, no. I see it too.
I feel good. Like, but I'm feeling some back fat. You know what I'm saying? And I was just saying,
like, people that have been listening to this podcast for more than 4 weeks, they're like, these motherfuckers are so full of shit. They've been talking about starting to get in shape for since this quarantine started.
But the people seen us in shape. That's what's so crazy about this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because you can see, like, I was watching a video when we just moved in here, and I was like, damn, girl. No.
Yeah, for real. No,
It is what it is, man. No.
I was telling you the other day that I was taking a shower. And I was getting out of the shower. And so I'm sitting there and I open up the curtain, and on the other side of the tub is a big ass mirror.
We have a huge mirror, not on the other side. It's right there.
Yeah. So when you open up the curtain, the
it's
shower
all
curtain,
you
you're looking at yourself, and your whole body.
Yeah.
And
dick and balls.
Everything. The first thing this is the first words to myself in my head. You fat motherfucker. Oh, no, you fat piece of shit. That's what I thought to myself. I was like, you fat piece of shit. Look at you. And then after that, I keep drying myself off, and I look back in the mirror, and I figure out, I was like, you know what? You know what I look like? I look like the dude from those workout commercials, or like P90X or fucking
or like the diet pills.
The diet pills, the treadmills, the fucking Airdyne bike, or whatever the hell. Whatever workout equipment they're selling, and they're like, they got the freaking picture of the dude side by side.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, look, it only took me 6 days to get this body. And right now, I'm the other guy. I'm the other guy, the fucking with the fucking love handles and the belly. But what's funny about those commercials is that when you see, at least, no, you can see it with the girl too. Like, when you look at their picture, you're like, that dude hasn't been fat his whole life. Because you can see, like, he's got some arms. And like his chest, I mean, he doesn't have tits. I mean, he's starting to get tits. You know what I mean? It's like you can see kind of a couple muscles on his stomach.
Yeah.
But then he's got love handles and a belly. So that's me right now. That's what I'm working on. So I got to get back to the other side of that picture.
You look fine.
But anyway, that's what I was thinking when I was getting out of the shower. I was like, you fat piece of shit.
I prefer you where you're at right now.
I know you do.
You know? And who are you trying to please?
Myself and you.
That's right.
And our family. I'm good.
Right here. Right here. All right?
Anyways.
I like to hold on.
Yeah. Man, so yeah, this has been, it's been fun. We're so sorry that you guys didn't get to listen to that last podcast. Man. That last podcast was so good.
Can you save any of it?
It was so good. And I already deleted everything.
Why? Because you got so upset.
No, you couldn't. It was all jacked. But anyway, I'm just kidding.
And that was a sober one.
Yeah, it was. But no, we're just kidding. It was a good podcast.
Yeah.
And
it is what it is.
It is what that
you can't cry over spilled beans. Is that what they say?
Spilled milk?
Oh.
You fucking Mexican. You can't cry over spilled beans.
Hey. I'm a bean
nerd. Oh my God.
Yes, I am.
That's a great way to go out. Anyway,
yes. And with
for you guys, make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpod.com to check out the podcast. Share it with those that you know. Make sure you go to trustinkusa.com and check out the legal services and notary services. If you guys want to give us a call, 480-912-5128. We appreciate you guys being with us. Thank you for being with us. We got some stuff that we're working on next week. We talked to our kids. We're actually going to have the kids on the podcast next week, so we're looking forward to that. And then the week after that, we have another podcast plan that we're already talking about. So we're looking forward to bringing you guys some good stuff.
Yes. So until next time.
Bye.
Bye.